If you've been watching this series from the beginning, I want you to know I see you. I know it takes something to keep showing up, to keep watching, to keep believing that things can look different for you. And in this verse, and in the and this is the first video in this, if this is your first video in this series, welcome. You picked a good one to start with. And I'd really like to encourage you to go back and watch the previous 4 videos. The link is in the description. Over the last 4 videos, we talked about 4 things that I believe are at the core of what it means to build a meaningful life in a busy season. We've talked about getting clear, really clear on your priorities instead of just collecting more ideas like I often do. We talked about making the courageous decisions that you've been putting off without necessarily needing to feel 100% certain in them. And we've talked about using your time intentionally, not finding more of it, but using the honest pockets of time that you actually have right now. And we talked about pursuing your dreams without abandoning your family. It's about integration instead of sacrifice. And today, I want to bring all of that together because each of those pieces matter, but they're even more powerful when you see how they all connect to each other. So, this is the season method, and it's built around a framework called season. So, S, first one, see your season. S in season stands for see your season. This is where everything begins because you cannot build a plan that works if it's built for a season that you're not actually in. Most women feel stuck, not because they lack drive, but because they're trying to operate like they're in a different season than the one they're actually in. Pre-baby capacity, pre-burnout energy, the version of themselves from 2 years ago. The first act of real clarity is simply this. Name your actual season. Are you in a survival season, a rebuilding season, a quiet growth season, or an expansion season? There's no judgment, just honesty, because the season you're in determines everything else about your plan. E is for evaluate what matters. So this is the brain dump part of the season framework, the honest accountability of everything you want to change, or pursue, or build, or shift. You write it all down without filtering and without judging yourself. And then you ask one filter question. What on this list is causing me the most tension right now? Or what is causing me the most anxiety right now? And then you circle that one thing. Not your top 3 things, but just one, because this season deserves your focused attention and not your divided energy. And then we come to A in our season framework. A is for align your expectations. This is the step that removes the shame because most of us are measuring ourselves against a version of ourselves who had more time, who had more energy, and had a different life. So, this step is about getting brutally honest about your actual capacity right now, your time, your energy, your mental space, your emotional energy and bandwidth, and building expectations around the reality of that. Not your ideal version, but the real version of you right now. What would faithful, realistic progress look like in this specific season? That's your new bar, and that's enough. And then the next S is select one aligned step. This is not a reinvention. This is one faithful step that fits inside of your real season. And it should be doable even on your hardest day. It should fit inside the actual pockets of time that you have. And if it feels too small, often that's just the right size. And that is your season intention. And this is where the momentum really begins. And then we come to O. O is own your decision. So stop redeciding every single day. The decision's already been made. You've picked your goal, the one thing you're going to work on. So now you just have to show up. And each time you follow through on your aligned action, you add a check mark. And each check mark is proof that you chose yourself and proof that you can be trusted with your own dreams. That accumulation of proof is what builds real and lasting confidence, not the kind you perform, the kind you've earned. And finally, N, nurture sustainable growth. So, sustainable growth isn't a destination, it's a rhythm, it's a lifestyle. And every 30 days, you return to this process. You acknowledge what you showed up for, and you assess honestly, not harshly, and you adjust if your season has shifted, and you recommit. And here's what I want to offer you as the next step. And it's the most natural one that I know. Everything I just taught you, the entire season framework, lives inside of the Season Clarity Guide. This is a workbook that walks you through every single step, naming your season, doing the brain dump, applying the filter questions, aligning your expectations, and selecting one aligned step, owning your decision, and setting up that 30-day rhythm to keep you on track towards your dreams and your goals. It is designed that you can complete it in just one focused sitting. Inside, you will find the questions that actually matter. This is the process that I went through when I was a new mom, navigating the new identity shift, trying to figure out how to move towards my dreams without burning out and without abandoning my new baby. And I distilled it down, I've structured it, and I've built it into something I wish I had at the beginning. If you are ready to stop sitting on your ideas and ready to start moving, this is your next step. The link is in the description, and it could be the most clarifying hour you spend in this entire season. I want to close with something that I believe in with my whole heart. Growth doesn't require a perfect season. It doesn't require unlimited times, a settled life, or a version of yourself who isn't still figuring things out. Growth happens in seasons. Imperfect, busy, messy, tender seasons like the one you're in now. The question is always, what is the right next step for the season that I'm actually in? You are allowed to want more for your life. You are allowed to pursue it, not someday, but now, in the honest pockets of time that you have, with the capacity that you actually carry, and in the season that you are actually in. One small action at a time. That is a season method. And it works, not because it's a perfect system, but because it's an honest one. So glad you're here, and I'm rooting for you, and I'll see you in the next season.